Good evening. Students who have just completed their studies at secondary level and were not accepted to join any professional centers, and those who are reconsidering the centers they've been accepted to, got the chance to apply for appeal today. The appeal process was done at their respective school from 8 a.m. until 2:30 p.m. The Ministry of Education considers this process as a second chance for the students to be able to continue their studies at another level. There are altogether 338 students who applied for appeal today, including those from private schools. For those who still won't be accepted to join any professional centers after the process has been completed, the ministry says that they can resit their exams or join the skills development program with the Ministry of Employment. 3 treasury bonds for a total value of 7 million rupees will be available on the market soon. This include 2 treasury bonds for 3 and 7 years, which will be issued by the government through the Ministry of Finance, and a 5-year bond of 2 million rupees, which will be issued by the Development Bank of Seychelles, DBS, and guaranteed by the government. The bonds will be administered by the central bank and will be sold through auction, which will be both on a competitive and non-competitive basis. The fiscal measure will partly make up for a 950 million rupees deficit projected in this year's budget. During a joint press conference at the central bank this afternoon, the parties gave details on the bonds which will hit the market on the 28th of this month. They will be applicable to both residents and non-residents having a rupee account with a local financial institution.
The 3 and 7 year bond will be worth a total of 500 million with interest rate of 2.5% and 5% per annum respectively. At the same time, the government is guaranteeing DBS, the Development Bank of Seychelles, a 5-year bond which will be worth 200 million at a coupon rate of 3.75%, and this will be guaranteed by the government. This is as per budget speech that Minister for Finance announced late in 2021 for the 2022 budget, and the bond will be issued on the 7th of March.
The government and the central bank, and this time with the DBS, is engaged to continue to develop the bond market on the domestic level, and in so doing to conduct auction-based issuance of bonds. And in this sense, the old method, which was a tap method, differs from this new auction method, whereby in the old way, the old method, the bond amount, the bond price and coupons were fixed, but in the new method of auction, only the amount is given as an indication. The coupon rate is fixed, but the price has to be determined by the market. And the onus for price determination is with the financial institutions, such as the commercial banks, the credit union, insurance companies, and the pension fund. They have the responsibility in this sense to determine the price of the auction, so they will participate competitively as compared to the rest of the public and other legal entities without the same financial knowledge and information. They will participate on a non-competitive basis, and the price that they will get in the auction will be based on the weighted average price in the competitive phase as determined by the financial institutions.
For the first time, Seychelles, through the National Institute for Culture, Heritage and the Arts, will benefit from the support of International Fund for Culture Diversity, IFCD, for the project aiming to identify the cultural reforms through reinvigorating and re-establishing culture at the heart of Seychelles' economic and social development, which is the project's title. Seychelles was among 9 successful projects out of 6 615 submissions that were considered by the 15th session of the International Committee of the 2005 UNESCO Convention on the Protection and Promotion of the Diversity of Cultural Expression. The Secretary General of the National Institute for Culture, Heritage and the Arts, David André, met the press yesterday where he made the announcement.
In the past, culture was more or less a small department in a huge ministry where the importance of culture was basically downplayed. Now, the reason why we created this new institution is to put culture at the heart of not only the cultural landscape, but the economic and social development of Seychelles. I suppose this is why the UNESCO chose this to allow this project to go through, because it's a new way of looking at culture. Because you see, culture is the business of everyone, not only the Ministry of Culture or the Institute for Culture. Culture involves education, the economy, which is principally tourism in our case, and environment, and everything. And everybody should see himself or herself part of the cultural development of our country. So basically, we're coming with a new vision for culture to make sure that everybody is involved and that culture will regain its rightful place in not only in the development of culture and the heritage, but economic and social development of our country.
President Wavel Ramkalawan has left Paris for Brussels, where he will participate in the joint European Union-African Union Summit tomorrow and Friday. Before leaving Paris, he held discussions with the Executive Committee of the Seychellois Association in Paris. He was briefed on the association's efforts to implement various projects linked to culture, fisheries and investment opportunities. Under the chairmanship of Virginie Mathieu, who is also the Honorary Consul for Seychelles in Paris, the Executive Committee members present also updated the head of state on their plans and sought his views on how they can work more closely with the government. President Ramkalawan and his delegation also had the opportunity to meet with the Seychellois member of the French National Assembly, Monica Michel Brassard. He personally congratulates Mrs. Brassard on being the first Seychellois to be elected in the French National Assembly. Mrs. Michel Brassard chairs the Groupe d'Amitié Seychelles France. We've come to the end of this news summary. Thank you for watching.